Hello, Moogles. Welcome to another Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer run on Wednesdays right here on the SpeedGaming Network as a channel. We're on SpeedGaming 4 tonight, and oh my goodness, do we have a special event for you. This is Tonic F Division for the Ultras League, Season number 8. Yeah, we're in 8 seasons now in Ultras League. That's how long this Randomizer has been around for. We've had 8 seasons of this. But yeah, we have Dwayne, Sawyer, Dragon Lady K, and Game Detective. But we want to give a little more of a background here before we get this run started because there's a lot of storylines here, people. Because we have Dwayne and Sawyer, two kind of what you can say rivals in the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community on kind of a lower level. But that's not all, because Dwayne and Dragon Lady K, Dwayne was the tutor for Dragon Lady K in the most recent Moogle Cup 3 event, which Dragon Lady K finished second. She was the finalist. She finished second overall in that tournament. But oh wait, there's more. As Game Detective was in that Moogle Cup tournament, didn't qualify for quarterfinals, but did win the Last Chance Serenade event, which was the remaining Moogles had a little bit of battle royale themselves, and Game Detective won that. So yeah, we have a heck of a storyline run here for you all. I am Saber Wolf. I'll be one of your commentators tonight. I am joined, of course, by Dream Schools, all running the backgrounds for the restream. And we also have Gretham, who I believe Gretham was also the mentor for Game Detective, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a lot of storylines, and that is in the race, but also in the booth as well. Once again, this is going to be Ultras League seed here. This is week number 4 here in the week's Ultras League Season 8. So what we're looking for 6 characters, 9 Espers, of course, to get the Kefka unlock. That's basically to get to the final boss. We also have 9 characters, or 12 Espers, or 22 checks. That's in order to get the skip into Kefka's tower, which means we have to skip the running of the tower. We just go right straight to the statue bosses at the top of the tower. And also with the Ultras League, we also have various division levels. This is the tonic level, which is the entry level, I guess you could say, of the tournament. We also have Potion, which is the next step up. We have Elixir above that, and we have Mega Elixir, which is our pro division, I guess you could say, of our Ultras League event.
All right, Sable, if I just gave them the kickoff, I think we're all fine.
All right.
And we'll be getting started here just in a moment.
Alrighty, sounds good. So we got the countdown going on in the race room. So once again, the times in the race room will be their official times on this run. So when they hit the stop button inside the race room, that will be their official time. There might be a little bit of course, feed delay as well, because we are transferring from their computers to our lovely computers here in the SpeedGaming network and out to you all in this glorious world that we live in. Our runners will be starting with 3 randomized characters, so we could have any kind of character possible here from the start. So depending on what we start with characters will depend on how easy this run will be as we progress through the seed. By the way, shout out to the Gentleman Gao there in the hash. I love it when I see Gentleman Gao. I usually put him as a extra feature in the seeds I roll, which if you want to roll your own seeds, be sure to head over to ff6worldscollide.com. You can roll your seeds there if you want to customize your own, or if you want to roll seeds that are pre-made, put a little /Discord. That's ff6worldscollide.com. ff6worldscollide.com/Discord, and you could do it on there. But we're off and running like a thundering herd of fast hounds. Like I said, there's a little bit of seed delay there with Story there, but we do have Edgar, Go-Go, and Strago. We have Magitech on Edgar, which unfortunately Go-Go cannot duplicate that, unfortunately. But the other command we have is also another command he actually can't use, apparently. I didn't see what Strago had there. Oh, Strago has... I still don't know what Strago has. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm trying to think of the other ability that you can't duplicate onto Go-Go, besides Magitech. I don't think Shocks...
You can't put Yamaro's ability on, unfortunately.
Well, Yamaro is just a raging beast. Because we had a Raging Beast, we had Rage Ring there on Sawyer's side, because what we do in the first about 5 to 10 minutes of any FS6 Worlds Collide run is, we gotta loot, we need gear, we need to do things. So we have to find items to try to equip our party with. Because our party does start with very bare minimum gear. Pretty much the gear that they first are introduced into the game with, wherever they were put into the game. Which I guess in a sense for Gogo, Gogo's gear is not that bad because he's actually one of the last characters you get in this game. So his gear's not too bad. But Dwaya immediately going for a check here. This is Figaro Castle. So we're actually going to get one of our very first peaks here. Sawyer rocking a little ceiling cat action there, going through the hidden tunnel there underneath the South Figaro basement. That is a behemoth suit there for Dwaya's side. That is a dead check. But really, really good over 2 behemoth suits. You got one, you get 2. Buy one, get one free there. So great pair of armor, by the way. Behemoth suit is actually a little underestimated because not only does it give you decent magic damage and has pretty good armor to it, it actually gives you a lot of vigor, so you actually can punch a lot of things with it too. Dragon Lady, oh, go ahead.
We see Sawyer hanging around World of Ruin South Figaro. That is huge. Actually, I think that was a Thunder Shield for sale for a measly 14,555 GP. One of the benefits of Edgar starts is that Edgar gets a 50% discount in his castle, but also in the World of Ruin South Figaro. Anything you can buy in with Edgar, the major party will be half price, and Thunder Shield is a fantastic thing. Some of the Fire Rods, that is a very stacked World of Ruin South Figaro for an Edgar discount.
Yeah, one of the awesome things about shields and rods is that they are breakable in the early game of the fights because that gives you a lot of magic defense ignoring damage that you can cast at the immediacy of the run. Rods give the basically scaling of like a Fire 2 or Ice 2 or Thunder 2, while shields do the third level of the Ice 3, Fire 3, and Bolt 3 of that version. Like I said, it is magic armor ignoring, which means you're basically doing true damage of the elemental type to whatever target you cast it on. You do break the item though, unfortunately, but it's a great item too because the really cool thing about Thunder Shields as well is any of the elemental shields that you get, that's actually going to be Merton protection, as we do find a golden hairpin on the Dwaya side of the screen there, so we are going to have reduced casting costs here if we can find some of the good juicy spells like Merton and Ultima and like that. And this piece of juicy, there's some money right there too. Dragon Lady K rocking the shops right now. Also, as of course my family just messaged me there, so I'm gonna have to mute my phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we're still in that looting phase. We'll probably be in the space until about we get to the 10-minute mark where we're looking around trying to find things we can punch stuff with. We do have access to a few free checks. We found some warp stones, so one of those free checks we have, which is Gogo's Zonier Cave. It's one of those places you'd rather go with warp stones than not go at all. With some warp stones in South Figaro Castle, I would go out and venture and reckon that one of our runners will head on that way here soon.
Yes, indeed. And that is a glowing stone there for the Thief check. Now, Thief is kind of an open world check. It's available in the World of Balance and World of Ruin. The only difference is that they cost differently depending on which world you are in. One costs more than the other. But the other more specific thing is, if you're on the World of Balance, it'll actually tell you if it's going to be an Esper or not. So if it says right there is a glowing stone available, then it means you know it's an Esper. Sawyer actually looked at it in the World of Ruin there. That was for about 20,000 more gold than what it costs in the World of Balance. So definitely World of Balance will definitely be the right play here. Dwaya, a little bit more information than Sawyer did because Dwaya did it in the World of Balance. So Sawyer still doesn't know exactly what it is, doesn't know if it's a Esper or item or not, but it is in fact going to be a Esper for our end, at least, of things.
And it also counts as towards a check. We do have a magic number in Worlds Collide for number of checks we want to hit in Ultra League, and that's 22. 22 checks allows us to bypass the walking portion, the large walking portion of Kefka's Tower. So getting a check, necessarily a bad thing. Getting an item plus a check that counts towards that Kefka Tower skip later on.
Well, speaking of items, I do see that with our runners running around the map, we do have a flame shield in the chest, an ice shield in the chest, and thunder shields for sale. So all 3 elemental shields are available to us in this run. We also found a gem box. Also available in, I believe, was the urn. It was either the urn and it was either Dwaya or Dragon Lady Screen. I don't know which one, but we did have a gem box, which allows you to change magic to X magic, which can be interesting. It can make it so that the bosses still can counter your in between casts, but that paired with like a golden hairpin is kind of nice.
Magic is pretty powerful.
Enhancers, which somebody can use.
Enhancers are going to enhance that magic power, if you will, plus those rods that we have all floating around. Ooh, that was a Genji glove for Dragon Lady Cave. The barrel down there in South Figure. So we pretty lucrative so far. We found a lot of good stuff. Nothing S tier, but a lot of A tier and B tier stuff so far.
Yeah, and also Aegis Shield going on the Gogo there on Game Detective screen, because Gogo, although he can cast, he can equip the elemental shields, he can't learn any spells. He can only learn spells and abilities that the other characters of the party actually learn. By the way, Sawyer, trying to go into the belly of the beast, the belly of the purple people eater here. That would be Gogo's check here. It's kind of a secret character. It's actually hidden inside of this beast, and unfortunately, Eggplant here is not cooperating, as it really only uses really 3 abilities, but it only really uses 2 abilities, which is Demi and Engulf. You want to get the Engulf because you want to get inside of it, and there we go.
There we go.
Now we're getting in the belly. Oh, and this is a rough fight here for Game Detective here. The trap bots here. Kind of annoying.
Yeah, this is a little scary for a first fight because of what they can do to you, but with Bolt Beam single-shotting them, that's pretty fortunate. Looks like he's got the last Bolt Beam off, so he is safe. He is through this fight. That is not a bad for a first fight to get all of your characters up and through it.
And the good thing about Magitech is that the Fire, Bolt, and Ice beams, they pretty much are similar to a level 2 casting of each of those elemental spells. We'll see if Sawyer can get through the first part of it. Oh, they're going to agree to try to get both chests here. And it does get to the second chest there. You always want to talk to that second chest here, because just to ensure that you square up, not to get squashed by the pancake maker here. And we do actually get extra elixir there before running out of there. You always want to save after that before this run, because it can this whole entire go-go check is just gosh darn awful in my opinion. But we're at the end of it, so we're going to get our reward. It is going to be a dead check, so that is just for nothing. Just a bunch of waste of time there, unfortunately, for Sawyer. I actually never do go-go's check unless I absolutely have to, so possible advantage for all of our other runners.
Yeah, that is a little frustrating because we had plethora of Thunder Shield at our disposal for a very affordable price in South Figaro, and then just to get one just because.
I think Sawyer was the one that found that too, so doubly.
A lot of other things you would have preferred there, but nevertheless, we know what it is, so information can be king, so you know what? He's going to put his head down and go somewhere else.
Real Chatty has asked, could Sawyer actually have used the Fire Beam during the Edgar encounter with the
Zone Eater?
Zone Eater to actually provoke the Engulf encounter? I mean, I don't know if the game is scripted that the Magitech is a spell, because I know you can trigger it on a spell. By the way, Hero Ring there in the treasure room in Nars. That's pretty hot, not gonna lie. We do find also the Esper there on Game Detective screen is in fact a Crusader. Not the greatest of Espers, like casting-wise, because it does basically nuke the whole screen, including your own team. Does come in handy though. Can be helpful in certain situations though. Like if you fight in Tritalk, you got nothing else you can use.
It comes in handy if you want a game over.
Yeah, I mean, it's also always funny when you also get the slot machine and it comes up Crusader as the Esper cast. Makes for definitely some interesting moments. But we are approximately 10 minutes into this run. Once again, this is FF6 Worlds Collide on the Wednesday's run here on SpeedGaming. This is Ultras League Season number 8, Tonic Group F here. We got Dwayne Sawyer, Dragon Lady K, and Game Detective here. Pretty much our top runners of this group right now.
Dwayne is going to figure out the Zone Eater situation. We haven't seen ELK or Game Detective make the way there yet, so it's getting a little later in the looting phase, so maybe they're going to pass on it for now. And Dwayne is getting the Demi business, no Engulf business, which is no bueno.
Well, the problem I'm seeing right now is where do you go for your first actual checks? Because we're going through a lot of our free checks. Throne Room, Thief, the Zone Eater here. None of it are actually fights, and every time we get into these checks and all, if it is a reward, it's going to increase our scaling. We do, however, have rods and shields available, so we are going to be able to get through a boss fight. Is it enough that you want to go to, say, engine room instead of going to, say, maybe the safest place, which is burning house, to try to get the grinding levels there? Which would you rather do?
It would depend. I think all runners pretty much have or will find the fire rods in the first sale at a discount. Burning House is kind of like one of those things where, in theory, yeah, it's got fixed encounters. That's what I need. It's got a boss. That's what I need. But if some rough, rude stuff is rolled there, then it's you take a long time to go through there to find out some bad news. It could not be the best opening place sometimes. But with fire rods, and then obviously having a thunder shield, then know I can go get more thunder shields if I want to. I'm a little more aggressive. I feel a little more comfortable in any decision I would make, just because I have those in my back pocket. So I don't think there's any wrong answer, because it's kind of like two of our runners are gonna do zone here. We got a thunder shield, cool. So we know we have to go somewhere else. What long check do you want to pick? And there is no right or wrong answer. It's just put your head down, make a decision, and go and do the best you can.
Yeah, but it looks like Game Detective is going to go that engine room route, as he is dancing in front of the cave to the South Figaro Cave World of Ruin, which is the path to get to the engine room, which is Edgar's first, well, technically second, I guess, of his checks, of his back-to-back checks inside the castle. I do see one suggestion from Real Chattiest. Why not just do Phoenix Tower with rods and mimic spam? I mean, that is an option too, because that does have a dragon inside the tower. And that tower is actually worth 3 checks that you can get towards the 22 check skip. So that is definitely a good option to go about, especially with the rods, especially with the shields. We do have the break to get those dragon kills. So I really do see that as a good pliable option. So
yeah, especially with all the elemental shields. Not only can you crack them, but it's going to give you, really, when you're at a low level, the most dangerous thing to you is AoE attacks, and then most of the AoE attacks at this level are going to be elemental. So if you have good coverage and elemental shield diversity, you're pretty safe from any immediate wipes. You'll have an opportunity to either A, recover, or B, get out of that sticky situation if it comes out at you.
Yeah, and speaking of the interesting things we do find while looting, Dwayne does have earrings on their team, so that's going to even accentuate that damage of breaking any rods or shields even more so. As Lady K also gets the bad news that it is a free Thunder Shield there in Gogo's lair. So pretty much all of our runners have gotten the bad news, except for Game Detective. Game Detective is the only one that has not gone into the ability to use Purple Eater. They are already working on their grind fights, so technically advantage is the Game Detective, as they also are the only one that has the Esper that they bought from the Thief. So, slightly lead here for Game Detective, as they are going to go into the South Figaro World of Ruin check here. We're going to pan over to a merchant, so that is going to be an Esper or item reward for this.
Yeah, that is a nice little find there, having that goblin fight along with its friends. Game Detective's now level 11, so he's way overskilled, whatever this boss may or may not be. But kind of a small little pivotal moment that occurs throughout the seed. If this is a boss that Game Detective can take down with one of his rods, shields, or his magic deck, that is fantastic. He'll have carved out a nice little advantage for himself. He's got the first check, which is arguably always the hardest check to get through. Your first boss check out of the way, fantastic. He'll be rocking and rolling. But if it trolls him a little bit here, and this is something like a Magimaster or a Poltergeist, well, that's really unfortunate because he loses all those levels because there's no save point before the boss down here. You gotta just power him through and hope you get through.
Question from the chat there from Sky Reaper. Is this paint settings? No, actually, Ultra Sleek is what we consider in our community the most basic, not just basic, the standard set. This is the standard flag set that pretty much all the other flags and all the other tournaments are basically based off of. I guess this is our core, I guess you could say, flag set that everybody plays at. So this is our baseline flags, seeds, stuff like that. So, but we do have Dwayne, and who would have thunk that Dwayne and Lady K, mentor mentee, pretty much having the same mindset. I mean, Dwayne is just doing it slightly faster than their mentee Moogle there. Pretty much doing the exact same routing, getting the exact same items, going the exact same pathing. Dwayne, again, just slightly faster than Lady K, but they're pretty much doing the same thing. They're going to Burning House for those grinding fights going in there. Game Detective ordering through their boss fight before you can stop talking. I believe that looked like a Big Daddy.
Was the leader.
Black belt there on the side. For leader, yeah. Very easy fight there, so quick and out there. They get a Magicite for that, so they are up 3 characters, 2 Magicite there. So they are in technically a 2 check lead here.
Yes, indeed. We see Dwayne working through the burning house. Flame dodging. You know, the hitboxes for the flames are so weird because they're not in the corners. They're kind of like a frame before them, and it's really one of the weirdest things in Final Fantasy VI. And there's a lot
I can never get it.
Yeah,
I can never get to walk by in the flames. They get me every time. I get burnt on the way by. Maybe because they hate me because I'm a firefighter. I don't know.
Could be. You're a threat to you're a natural threat to their habitat, so.
Yeah, apparently. And Sawyer, following Dwayne and Dragon K's lead, they are also going into the burning house. So we have 3 players right now who are diving into the burning house to try to rescue whomever it is at the end of the household here. Meanwhile, Game Detective going into part 2 of the 2-part series of Edgar. Once you go into the engine room, you are able to reroute the castle back underground again to try to get to the ancient castle. They're also level 13, so we're also leading on levels as well here. Luckily for us in the coding of this game, when you go to the ancient castle here, once you finish the castle, it will bounce you back to the South Road Desert, enabling you to get back to the airship from when you started the engine room check. Get that little secret switch there on the staircase, and we're going to move on down to the hidden staircase into the basement. And this is also a dragon down here. So with these rods and other stuff they've learned so far, hopefully they can get there. That is not a character either. So that means the character must be in the Fanatics Tower, in Haydn, at the end of Burning House, or it's going to be Kefka at Narsh right now.
Yep. We're running out of options where a character can live. We'll probably unearth what's at the end of Burning House here in not too distant future. Based on what we're seeing from everybody else, but no, if it's not there, it's going to be interesting choices ahead for everybody. Alright, that is, I don't think this blue dragon will be long for the world.
Packs are kind of scary, but we do have those shields, hopefully, with the bolt beams coming out.
So I always wondered, Saberwolf, who locked Blue Dragon down here in the cave? Because obviously, you gotta hit the little switch you mentioned before you can get down here and get to him. Who do you think did that?
Well, whoever did it must have hated him a lot, because you just locked him not only in the basement of this castle, also locked him in a desert. I mean, that's a water dragon for crying out loud. And that is a Genji glove, so okay. Also, that's right, that was a dead check there. So, Ancient Castle was good because we got 2 checks out of it. So, currently we're at, what is it, like 5 checks? So, we're at like 6, 7 checks already for Game Detective or something like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Game Detective really on the road here. Definitely probably loot into Fanatics Tower. The other good thing about Fanatics Tower is the reward there at the bottom of this bottom of the tower is automatically always going to be a character or Esper. It will be progression every single time. So that's another good reason why you want to go to the tower as well. Oh, Lady K, slightly overstepping the doorway there. Did get caught by the flame there on the booty. Dwayne moving on to Haydn's cave. Just gonna have a little bit more information. I'm sorry, I'm thrown off by Game Detective's old school video here.
I think that was a Magic Power plus 2 Esper Dwayne I got from
Ooh.
That's quality Esper.
There's definitely quality Esper early on in this game that could help her catch up with Game Detective's big lead here. By the way, Hiding Cave is the rando of the rando of the rando, because you're kind of just skipping around this cave, hitting random switches to go to various other places of the cave, trying to get those chests of coral. You need at least 22 coral before you go face this mimic chest to get it out of the way before you actually fight the boss. Kind of on the roll here. Got at least 12 coral so far.
We're seeing
Also,
ooh, that's offering hanging around in the Coliseum for Game
ooh,
Detective.
for leather hat. Oh, Oscar is kind of sketchy though. Evil Oscar probably my worst hated thing because of that reason right there. Oh, Tritouch. Oh, we got flying rods. We're good.
Yeah, we got fire rods.
We got fire rods. We got Mimic Go-Go. We're good. Cool thing about Mimic Go-Go when you break an item, you can mimic the effect of it without actually using up the resource of it. So even though we have 3 rods there, and using it drops it down to 2, if we mimic that rod, we still have 2 rods. It does not pull from the pool of the items from our I guess you could say item bag. But that's 2 shots right there. Tritouch is down already thanks to all the earrings we have on them. Fire 3 learned on one of our characters, and Go-Go. That's going to be a character because we immediately walk out, which means we got a character here. It is and it's Tara, the other girl, or Dwea's girl. Not my girl, that's for sure. But it is Tara. Great character here.
Yeah, the earlier you find Tara, the better, because we get access to the most treasure dance room in the game now.
Yep, so as soon as you get Tara, you almost immediately want to go to... Oh no, we're trapped! We're completely trapped by the old guy! Okay, we're out. Okay, good. Where's Y remove when you need it? By the way, early boss fights here. I know Tritouch's not exactly an easy boss fight, but thanks to the Fire Rods, it does make it an easy fight. But so far, we've had Leader and Snail, so yeah, some of the harder bosses might be later on here.
There's this little bowl from Dwea. She didn't save before she came to the Coliseum, and that can backfire because you can easily get into a situation.
We have the offering for her too. Let's see if she feels better with this evil Oscar. She's staring at it going, oh boy. Yeah, I hate evil Oscars. They do conditions, they sneeze, they do a lot of different things to you. Unfortunately, I believe when you're in the Coliseum, I don't think it triggers the Magitech attacks. I don't believe.
It can, but the problem is...
Oh, never mind. There it is.
We get it at Fire Beam, but the problem is Evil Oscar absorbs every element but fire.
Ooh.
But if you pick fire, you don't have to worry about it, so that's really fortunate there for our Dwea.
Yeah, it is. Offering there 1, however, I don't think we have the weapon to go with it so far. Poison effect. Ah! By the way, Sawyer now diving into the Edgar checks there for them. Wait, didn't Sawyer?
No, that was Game Detective.
No,
Game Detective.
That was Game Detective. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lady K getting going through the Haydn there. They're getting their terror. Sawyer deciding not to go Haydn. Is going to dive into Edgar, so this is going to actually put him further behind here, because there is only an Esper and Dead Check down here. So Sawyer kind of going off the beaten path, unfortunately, for what the rewards are going to be. Game Detective is going to get their character now after finishing Haydn.
That was Locke at the bottom of Fanatic, so there are 2 characters behind Strego and his nonsense. Plus that remains
really?
Esper. Yeah.
What was the character at Tower?
Locke.
Oh. Huh. That's actually worth, because you can actually get Locke's alternate choice from the armor shop behind Tara's snail check, which actually makes Tara's snail check now worth 2 checks towards the skip, actually. So that's actually pretty worth. Looks like Dwea will be running through the Esper Mountain, or Esper Cave here, which is a free check. You can just run through real quick, run back out. It's pretty quick here. By the way, in the meantime, Dragon Lady K doing some early game swapping around the Esper here. We only have 1 Esper right now to go through. They're actually going to do the Edgar routing now, so now they're only going to get 1 Esper. See if they follow up on Ancient Castle like Game Detective did as we move along. So right now, pathing-wise, Game Detective further ahead because they already have their Terra and they already did the double Edgar checks. And Dwaya actually taking the alternate route with doing Terra's checks even sooner here. It's just down that one Esper, which, by the way, the Esper we know is only Thief's Esper. Which, no, she got Thief's Esper, didn't she? Wait, did she?
No, I don't think Dwaya has.
No, she hasn't got, no.
Yeah, only the Burning House Esper.
Okay, but she does know that the Esper is on Thief, so, because she did see the glowing stone there. Yeah. So technically, we are tied right now between Dwaya and Game Detective here. By the way, Dwaya, after 3 weeks of gameplay for this Tonic F group, is the leader right now at 22 points overall, followed by Dragon Lady K, her mentee Moogle, that's 14. Game Detective's at 13, and Sawyer's at 9. Sebalingo, by the way, is in 4th place with 10. Sawyer's at 5th. Rounding out the group is Buffaloes and TJ, and the bottom of the group with 2 points and 0. That is the Esper at the end of the tunnel there for Dwaya, so this will be 2 Espers for her, 3 Espers for Game Detective. We'll see if Dwaya, now with all the stack of items, will try to get that Thief Esper now.
That's another nice thing about doing the Treasury Armor Room and then all the Sealed Gate is that even if you don't find anything useful, you're going to find a decent amount of money. And then you don't have Zen Thief yet, that will come in handy.
Okay, so we are going to go to Narsh instead. We're going to do Snail. Looks like we're going to try to buy some more gear here. By the way, level 14 for Dwaya here, so a little bit lower in levels than what Game Detective is, I believe.
Game Detective done with his Imperial Treasure Room looting and whatnot, so looks like he's going to go on over to Zozo. This is interesting, but I like it because
okay.
Sealed Gate is a little bit faster, but you know what? Maybe he's feeling a little behind because of the slow start from the characters and the guessing. So maybe he's thinking, let's throw some caution to the wind, go one less travel and see what happens.
In the meantime, Dwaya there with a very difficult boss here with God, Air Force. Wow, my brain just died on me. It's Friday night for me, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, Thunder Rod, great rod to break on the Air Force here, mimicked by Go-Go. This should do a pretty good solid amount of damage. Yep, that's a correct power for them. Sawyer battling the Blue Dragon. They're already in the second phase of Edgar. Of course, we already know this is going to be a dead check. Genji Glove on the Dragon as well. Dragon Lady K diving back into they're going to go where Sawyer's going right now. And Game Detective, again, going Zozo here, World of Balance. By the way, if you wait at the bottom there, wait for the third thief behind you to run into the urn as you're blocking them up, you can just run straight through. Instead of getting body blocked by the guy in front of you. So what you want to do is you want to stand right on that corner where they make the turn up into the hallway. Wait for the third thief to hit that urn and turn left, and then you can just run right through, right up the stairs. Snail Jr., by the way, a presenter here for one of the Monster in the Box chests, because Lady K has not found that the offering is available in the Coliseum for leather hats. So they are fishing for the offering in these trap chests in the Ancient Castle caves here, as we do have a Chad here at the top of Zozo. Not a great fight. I mean, we do have fire spells and stuff.
Yeah, we still have that. If we got that fire 3 on, this is no problem whatsoever, or even have a fire rod left, but if we don't, this fight can be really annoying.
Yeah, by the way, Dwaya taking a side trip here, going up to Kefka and Norsh here. It is going to be a Esper or item here, so we don't even know what the reward's going to be here. Kind of an interesting play here. I guess you're kind of one of those like, hey, I'm already here, I might as well just do it. Kefka and Norsh is an open world check. You can do it anytime you want, no matter what character you have. And misses the slip through ploy and runs into a Tyrannosaurus. Hello.
Kill him! They need to be extinct again.
Well, not only that, but they're good experience.
Yeah.
These are great experience fights. Just do it.
Yeah. Plus, we're
You
getting
have
all
the
these
preemptive attack. Just do it.
Turn around. Turn around.
Turn around. Fight. Nom 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 nom. Oh, this is actually even worse. You're pincered. You're pincered with a GT behemoth. Ah.
Well, now she doesn't have a choice. She has to fight.
Yes. Come on, sometimes you just gotta test your might here and just do it. Gran Turismo Behemoth is kind of interesting sometimes. You can do some weird abilities and attacks here. Sawyer moving on to bigger and better things here in the world of Ruin. They are flying right off the map. They're going into Hyden's Cave, so they will find their Terra. Finally getting their character number 4. Game Detective already have found character number 5 there. I missed that. That was in the Zozo, so... Oh. Dude! Blue, interrupt me if it's Yeti, man!
That was Umaru at,
Apparently, that's what chat's telling us. That's what our tracker Gretham is doing. Our professional tracker here in the background.
Tyrannosaur situation that we missed the gold mine.
By the way, for those of you watching on SpeedGaming, might want to note that my fellow commentator and our restreamer Drinks Blue, that is their favorite character in this game.
My favorite character in any video game. Nevertheless, we'll have 3 other runners with the opportunity to possibly come across our furry friend and do the right thing.
Ooh, okay. That was a show reward there for Kefka and Nar, so that was an Esper for Dwea, and that was Shoat, which can't be used on Tier 1 of Kefka. I do want to point out, though, that we do know that Locke is in FedEx Tower. We already did a part of Terra's check already, and unfortunately, it looks like an NPC was blocking the path there to the weapon shop, so you had to walk around it the other way. Once again, we have our Tri-Touch fight here on Sawyer's screen. Game Detectives getting through their latest fight there on the Snail. Another dead check, so we are pretty much guaranteed here, if we go Fanatics Tower, to pretty much get skipped at this point. Fortunately for these runners, this seed is going to be one of those long marathon runs.
Yeah, we have a handful of characters that we happen to walk across a dragon during their check. Plus, all the dead check we found so far. I think we'll see a skip or 2, if not everybody doing the skip today.
Yeah, so Terra does lead to a character. That character is Umaru. Unfortunately, running up to Snail, Gretham, did you see if there was any character in the Yeti hole on the way up? I did not see if there was a character there or not. Or chat too, chat following along, did you see a character in there? As we do get a raid from Poot Scooty, raid of 2, thank you for that, as we're joining the live Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer, the Ultras League Season 8, Week 4 of Tonic F. And judging from the lack of comments here, I'm going to say there was no character there. So, Yeti leads to nothing. So we're back to square one on character progression, which likely is going to have to be a lock at the Magitech Tower then.
We still
the
have
hole is empty. Okay, yeah. It's confirmed.
Yeah, we've seen a handful of we still haven't seen Elite River, or what's that mode was. There's 2 other Terra checks that somebody could be living out there.
You really put Elite River on the table?
I always put Elite River on the table. I never go there, but I put it on the table.
Yeah, it's on the table, but I would honestly do Magic Tower first before I ever do Elite River. Only because of the reward that you get for Magic Tower, because it's automatic progression and it's 3 checks. So, and you actually get a dragon for level scaling and multiple high tier items, and it looks like Sawyer's going to be our first one to note that path to try to get their lock under their belt. Lock, which means the character could be in Phoenix Cave or South Figaro Cave. So, and I believe they haven't done the snail check, so they could definitely parlay that to an extra check with the lock on the backside of the snail.
This is like one of those weird things where maybe Fanatics is off-putting, which this is so long, but actually Lock has 2 really fast checks, and technically 3, because we have Terra in tow, so we have access to the other half of the World of Ruin weapon shop check that Lock does have access to. So we commit a little bit of time. We see Dwaya make an awful decision.
I was going to say, well, okay, just to defend this, because I know how much you feel about Yamaro.
Well, there's no defending this, but I'll let you try.
This is an official run for an actual competition.
So the more the reason you would want the best character in the history of video game in your party.
Honestly, you got to keep the memes as dreams here when you have to do an official run like this. And you're also in the heat of competition. You're live running against 3 other people. So you're going to make the most logical decision. I hate saying that to you, buddy, because I know it's going to break your heart when I say it that way.
We can agree to disagree.
Don't worry, we'll be agreeing to disagreeing later when we have to fight over Terra versus Celeste later on. By the way, please lock go into Celeste as one of your checks. Just saying. Anyways, the way I'm climbing the World of Ruin here to Yeti, I believe she probably saw that it wasn't a character. However, we already have 5 characters, 3 Espers for Dwaya, so she probably wants to bank that this is double Esper here, and that'll definitely put her back in the game along with the Dragon right here.
Yeah, we're kind of getting
definitely hurting on levels.
We're kind of getting to a point in the seed where we know where 6 characters are, but those 6 characters may not lead the 9 Espers because of the number of dead checks we've seen. So it could be that we have to find character number 7. Possibly even 8, just to get all the stuff we need to unlock the seed.
Yeah, the dead checks that are piling up here is definitely indicating to us that we are going to have to go with 7 characters at least. I do agree with you there, so we're definitely going to get Lock in the party at some point. Oh, no, the shadow. No, there's a shadow up there. That's not an empty hole.
I mean, it depends on...
He's such a stealthy ninja, you couldn't even see him in the hole.
Yeah.
So, no, Dwaya is going after character 6 here with Shadow. I mean, he must use one of those invis edges or something. Ooh, Inferno, not the great fight here. Also, White Dargan here on Sawyer's side of the screen. That's also a rough check. Uh-oh, there's 2 people dying there on the side here as we're gonna have to do some picking up here. As we are in the Magic Tower, which means no items, but oh, crap pow. It's gonna be a little rough news. We are gonna get the progression of the dragon and the item, but no levels for Gogo or Edgar there on that fight.
That's alright. It's really just important thing he gets through the fight because that's on his way down, and that would be really backbreaking. The behemoth suit, the 3rd behemoth suit.
The 3rd behemoth suit, yeah. Also got the Pearl Lance too because of the dragon itself, so.
Just get through the fight, move on, and then go around much business. That's the important model here.
Well, Sawyer rocking his down baby here as going down the Goblin Town stairs here. Dwaya does get through the Inferno fight there as Game Detective hot on their heels. Also going to be fighting the Inferno at the Tri-Touch point here in the World of Ruin. And Narsh as Dragon Lady K is going to go after the tower here. To go after the lock, definitely going to be pursuing this one as soon as she's locks on screen. They're going to go. Yep, there she goes. I believe that was a dead check, unfortunately, for Dwaya.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately dead check, but will be the first player to gain 6 characters here. Okay. Shadow. You know my next question is going to be.
Yes. The McRib is no longer available.
The what? No.
Oh, my bad. What was it?
I'm talking about Fun and Continent here.
Oh, we're on different pages then. Yeah, yes. Oh, yeah. That's also kind of going back to the whole, do we have enough, checks to even get all the Esper type thing? Because we either A, get some Espers up there because there's two very good, or there's two required, or excuse me, two guaranteed pieces of aggression. Espers are characters. If it's not Espers, well, it's more characters, and more characters lead to more Espers, right?
Yeah, it just perpetuates the cycle, definitely.
But it's still early enough in the seed where that it's not backbreaking. So if you want to make the decision to go up there, I think Dwaya may just go ahead and fire it up and go on up there because 6 and 3. You know what? Why not? If she was like 7 and 8 or 5 and 8 or something, that type of scenario, then it gets a little awkward because you can overshoot if the opposite of what you need is up there. But when you need both, you might as well.
Yeah, and the first and third parts of Floating Continent is guaranteed progression. That is X magic, by the way. On Shadow, we do have Fire 3 Golden Hairpin available, but it's going to pass on that, as we do have higher level spellcasters. Plus, we already have +2 magic power living on some of the people there. I believe that was an Esper there for Sawyer on the weapon shop check there.
It looks like Dwaya is going to see what's going on in the cave on the belt. So let's analyze.
Minerva and Ice Shield, so still no more Espers. My goodness. Oh, I think we got that's 6 or 7 dead checks now, I believe. So I think we got all the dead checks under our belt here.
Plus, that's enough Merton protection for probably 2 parties now.
Yeah, Dwaya, I don't necessarily agree with doing this one because you can use this in the end game for a peak later on. This is a great peak check. You can actually see what the reward's going to be before you actually do it, and guarantee to know what the reward's going to be. I would rather go Floating Continent right now, but
yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing this. You never know for certain. Because like, what if this is like one of the faster characters, faster checks, something like Celeste? Happens to be an Esper, but you know what? I need 6 more of them anyway, so I might as well. It doesn't make any difference if I get this as my 9th Esper, my 4th Esper. An Esper is an Esper.
by the way, Game Detective update here. He does have an Atma weapon offering Edgar action here.
Nice.
So that is our first, I believe, use of the offering here that we have on the table with the Atma weapon. Not sure where they got the Atma weapon from, though. And speaking of Atma weapon, that is our fight here for Dwaya on their screen, as by Lady K doing Ultras 2 and Fire 3 that right off the screen immediately.
There was an Atma weapon in the Imperial Treasure Room, and then Game Detective's offering, I think he got from the top of Fanatic's tower.
Okay, so we do. That means Atma weapon offering is available to all of our players here on the screen.
Oh no, Game Detective didn't get it from the tower. I think maybe. So I'm not sure. Maybe he got the leather hat while we were focused on the crimes committed against Yamaru earlier.
Yeah, because you do have luck. So
I think just about everybody that goes to the Coliseum is gonna find probably the offering for the leather hat, because you're not gonna sell a leather hat because it sells for like 10 GP or whatever. And then B, you're probably not gonna have it equipped anymore, because if you just optimize and you find any helmet, that's gonna outrank it, and will just sit in your inventory.
Phantom Esper there on the backside for the Cave in the Belt. Sawyer getting through their Tri-Touch fight. I believe that's Tri-Touch there. If they're that fight, yes, it is. So they're going to get their dead check there. Game Detective going back to the weapon shop here. I believe they're trying to find some enhancers. No, more frog rods to break. Okay. They're just trying to find more gas to break here. As Lady Dragon K gets to the bottom of the tower, they're going to pick up their log for character number 5. Also, our lovely chat is saying dog pet confirmed. Okay.
Dway's gonna give us some new information, because we haven't seen what's going on at Mobiles yet.
Yeah, Dwayne definitely taking the most aggressive line here.
I like it.
Oh, my girl! Is she gonna do it, though? I mean, it is Magitech facility, though. There you go. My girl! So I got my wish for the Celeste discussion. Oh, no, didn't step left first there to do the doggo removal. But I don't think Celeste is going to be joining this party, unfortunately. It's too late into the run, I think.
I could see them replacing Strago.
They've done Shadow's free check, right?
I don't think she's been out of the World of Ruin since she's acquired Shadow. I think she worked down, and now she just.
Okay, so we have 2 free checks. Plus, she hasn't done Thief yet, so she has 3 free checks that she could do. So she could be at 6 characters, 9 Espers in the next 7 minutes.
Dragon Lady took down their evil Oscar and is being rewarded with an offering, so kudos to them.
Looks like they're dipping in again.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, grabbing 2 offerings, okay.
A couple other hats to spare. Why not?
Oh, that's a throw Celeste. Interesting. She actually might find her way onto party. Unfortunately, Celeste, though, does join the party technically naked. No weapon, no armor, really. Just a hairband.
Yeah, I'm curious who Dwaya had her magic power plus 2 Esper on. But if it's on, I think it's been on Terra. But if it's on Strago, you obviously don't want to, you know, there's really nothing Celeste can do that would outpower that. But if it's been on Terra, and Strago, you know, has notoriously famous speed and some other
Go-Go, though.
equipment pool, he could be a candidate booted.
I mean, if you kick out Go-Go, though, I mean...
Good.
Because Go-Go can't... The big problem with Go-Go is, yes, they get all the abilities that everybody else learns, but you can't buff their stats. They're going to be stuck at, like, 32 magic power, or whatever that's going to be. Yeah, that's not going to be buffed up, so if Celeste, you bring Celeste on, she has, like, 40-something magic power, might be worth it. And there's the play right there. You can tell Dwaya is my Moogle. And 42 magic power, sure enough. There you go.
All right, we're coming up around the 48-minute mark. We found all the characters we need. We're still not quite sure where all the Espers we need are, but we're working our way through it. Saber, who would you say right now is kind of in the pole position, who has a commanding lead at this point in the seed as we enter the second half?
I want to say, well, it depends on these next 2 or 3 checks from Dwaya. I'll answer that after these next 2 or 3 checks. Right now, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold off on see what the South Figaro basement is. That's exactly where she's going next. If South Figaro basement is an Esper, and she goes to the Thief, and then she goes to Magitech facility, I'm going to say Dwaya is in the lead. However, if this right here is a dead chick as well, then I'm going to say Game Detective's in the lead because they have a monster. I'm guessing their check count's got to be high teens now.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the 20 almost, right?
It's got to be around like 15, 16.
Well, I mean, Dead's check see it as we do find a Phantom Train there for Sawyer's side of the screen on the boss fight there. Fortunately, it's not Moogle Cup where you can instantly kill it, so we are going to have to do it the hard way, but easy peasy. It's not that bad of a boss to fight there. Lady K, by the way, going up the South Figaro World of Ruin, going after... Oh, Cyan! New information learned there. That is the South Figaro Cave World of Balance lock check. Goes into Cyan.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Interesting. And Sawyer, unfortunately, still at 2 Espers.
If you
it's
need
a rough
Espers,
run for them.
the character you want to find.
Yeah, okay, so that was an Esper for Dwaya. So they will be at 7 and 6, and 7 is pretty much mandatory character count. And they will be getting this Esper once they sell a bunch of these items here. Force Shield, just sell the Force Shield, that'll get you there. beggars can't be choosers. Just gotta sell and go. There you go. So they're going to be at 7 and 6, and then probably going into Magitech facility after that. Game Detective is only going to be at 7 and 5. So I'm going to say Dwaya has a slight lead, depending on what the check count is for her when she gets into. Oh, that's Fenrir. That is Fenrir with Cure 3. That is huge. Huge for Final Kefka. Oh, and Quick available too on that Crusader Esper. So right now, running down the order here of operations. Sawyer there in the upper right corner of the screen. 6 characters, 3 Espers, 3 dragons. They've done the most dragons so far. However, it does not help them to get Kefka unlocked. Unfortunately, is struggling to find those Espers under the belt. Dwaya, kind of the leader right now for getting the Kefka unlocked. 6 Espers, 7 characters, 1 dragon. Game Detective in the leader seat for as checks goal to try to get the skip into Kefka Tower at 5 Espers, 7 characters, and they just pick up the lock there, and 2 dragons. Dragon Lady K, kind of in the middle of the pack right now at 4 Espers, 5 characters, and in a very difficult situation here against Inferno. Inferno can get a little away from you if you don't have the bolt and ice kind of damage there to hit the body with. But 4 Espers, 5 characters, 2 dragons.
Alright, so Game Detective's going to go down the lock path, which is a little bit of a dead end because there's no Esper here in the weapon shop. But we know where Cyan is, and Cyan's readily available, and then Cyan could kind of maybe allow him to leapfrog to the 9 Espers pretty quickly if he goes the right way.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the Minerva there. It is a great armor that Terra and, well, for Dwaya's case, Celeste can automatically wear. Gives you that element of protection along with tons of magic power. Unlike the Ice Shield, we already have Fire Shields, we already have Ice Shields, we already have Thunder Shields we can buy. So definitely Minerva, definitely a better option there. But all eyes right now are pretty much set on Dwaya here, as Game Detective is going to find the dead check here on this free shadow check here. But eyes are on our Group F leader here, Dwaya. Kind of leading the way here for unlock here at 6 characters, 7 Espers. Now, the first 2 checks in the Magitech facility are always going to be items or Espers. So, and we are in need of Espers right now. Or at least everybody in this race is in need of, desperately need of Espers right now. So if we can nail 2 Espers off this, and the 3rd check of Magitech facility is a guaranteed reward, Dwaya could be on her way to unlocking Kefka. What is Dwaya's check count right now?
Gotta be up there. Let's say 15. I guess 15 or 16. Gretham will let us know. Gretham will have everybody's stream up.
Yep. Yeah, solid play out of Lady K, getting everybody up there, trying to get the experience off that last fight. That is an Esper for Dwaya. By the way, once again, we have pretty much found all of our dead checks here. So the chances, the high chances of these all being Espers is extremely high here for Dwaya. As we do have some new information here for Sawyer's side, trying to see if, I'm not sure why they reset out of that.
Oh no.
That could have still been an Esper.
She didn't save before she came down here, but she does have Berserk, so that is incredibly fortunate.
Oh! Risky plays here. But yeah, Berserk, necessity. Fortunately, it missed. Oh boy. Oh!
There we go. Now it's on the correct target. She had put it on herself, but fortunately it missed because of it. You got Berserk, the only person with Berserk. They got to go down to get him back up.
There we go. All right, we got it on the target now. So now we can cast spells freely. It will not change the shield. Also won't cast crazy spells on us anymore either. By the way, Marshall with Darlings. Cool thing about this randomizer we have for Final Fantasy VI Randomizer Worlds Collide is that we can randomize Marshall's 2 fellow monsters or creatures that are going to be with them, just to make the encounter a little more interesting. Lobos kind of makes it a little too easy, so by randomizing the Barbies, for instance, with a Marshall does make it more intriguing. As we do get a Siren off that is mute for our Tier 2 fight. So that is definitely going to be helpful with this cyan pathing here between Sawyer and Game Detective. By the way, Game Detective, one character away from skip atop of probably the check skip they're going to get. So I think they're going to get double skip here. As Dragon Lady K doing another new information check, they're going into Phoenix Cave, which is interesting because it's technically a free check. There's no boss you have to fight, but there is a dragon down there that you can fight. Oh my goodness, that is Gollum on the second part for Dwaya there. And Magic, oh, they are going to back out.
Okay, with that,
okay.
a few other options.
I mean, yep, there's probably other options that might be a little faster here. I would have gone with it for the auto check and the levels off the middle fights that you had there, but they're going to go for, they might be close to 22 checks. They're going to go for the automatic reward here. I don't think they've peaked this yet.
No, I don't think so either. Needing one Esper coming here, you're coming here with Espers in mind. Now she's loading up.
She's loading ammo weapon up on Terra. Yeah, her levels are really low. So those extra fights would have been beneficial as, oh my goddess, at the beginning of Dream here for Sawyer. And Game Detective here.
Gonna pass on the lock.
Apparently we have a Ragnarok here for Edgar at some point.
Alright, looks like she's gonna head on to Ancient Castle. Now, the Ragnarok everybody else has was at the bottom of Ancient Castle, and I think the first spot was an Esper. So I don't think she'll be making her way all the way to the bottom. She's gonna get her Esper, head on out, and I think she'll be in Opera Dragon / middle Kefka Tower Lane for 2 checks type skip territory.
That's interesting. Again, I would be very intrigued on what the third check was for Magitech, because those levels would have been money. Because when you want to get into Final Kefka, you want to be at least level 37 to feel safe in the fight there. 37 feels safe. 35 below, you're kind of getting a little worried what your damage output's going to be. Not to mention your total health you have. As Sawyer does get through that goddess fight, unfortunately Locke taking a dirt nap there is not able to get any experience or reward from that, as Dragon Lady K gets through their dragon fight, does pick up a dragon horn off that, so do have a dragon boots. We could get a jumper out of this, but I think it's kind of late. We do have a Pearl Lance available too, so we shall see. And there's a crack pow for Game Detective. That is a non-character there for Dream. So this could be a triple Esper Dream here, which was set up very, very nicely for Game Detective, as that could put them at Kefka unlocked at the end of Dream here.
Alright, this is Esper number 9 for Dwaya, so this will put her on her Kefka Tower unlock. It's gonna, cue her that I just need a few more checks for my skip, so let's go do my few checks I need to do and go beat the game. So, runner number 1 with unlock is Dwaya.
Yepper.
Game Detective may not be far behind because we're approaching the end of Dome of Dream. I think this is an Esper running around for the sprite. Yep. And we can complete this and turn around and get another Esper on the throne.
Yeah. Dragon Lake K seeing their Celeste there from the little peek there you get from the little girl at the top of the screen there in that back room. Sawyer now going into the boss fight here. By the way, Game Detective currently at oh, they have the other yeah, the other tracking system, so I don't know what they're at for checks.
Yeah, it's I think the way at a couple of them, I think you have the emo checker where we don't have the check count, where you gotta kind of add it up. But it's close because we have 9. The 1 dragon plus 4 extra characters, plus we know of at least 3 dead checks. She's close.
Yes, close. As Dwayne is doing the Opera House Dragon here, possibly for levels and a check here. I know that Dwayne is close. I think Game Detective might have skip and unlock here at the end of the stream here.
Yeah, this is a small, small moment in the vacuum, but it's kind of pivotal because if it's unlock, that's fantastic. You can just hone in on what he needs for his skip requirements. But if it's not, it kind of puts him on that awkward path of where do I go now for Esper number 9, and just turns into a guessing game. And do you want to your character checks? What do you want to do?
Yeah, Dwayne is at 18 checks right now. Game Detective's at... I'm counting here, sorry. I'm counting 12, but that can't be right. I think part of the tracker's clipped off, so I have no idea what Game Detective has, unfortunately.
Alright, Sawyer is going to let us know the news for Game Detective. What is on the Figaro throne? He has to do his Stooges fight. Dragon Lady K has their Celeste in tow, and now they're going to go through and get. I think this was Fender, either Fender or Golem that was hiding down here in the basement.
Okay.
Mega Elixir.
Oh, it is a triple Esper. KT skip for Sawyer. Sawyer having that much bad luck. 6 characters, 8 Espers here, 3 dragons, has skip. The first player with skip under their belt. The way I'm doing some last minute shopping here. Might have run out of sleeping bags possibly here. Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, she had 0 sleeping bags, so that was exactly what it was. Game Detective finishing this fight up. They will be the second player with Kefka unlock here. We'll see if that gives them enough checks for skip as well. If this gives them skip, they will bombard themselves into the lead of this run here.
Yeah, this is interesting because it's turned into a little guessing game for Joya and Sawyer, whereas Game Detective we know is going to be right on the doorstep of going into the tower. But no, it looks like Joya's calling.
Oh, that is skip. Yeah. So they do have skip, and they are going to get unlocked with this extra throne check here. Dwayne is still working on skip as she's going to overload the team in the middle. She's going with Kefka Tower to get the skip, so she still has 1 or 2 more checks to get through to get the skip. So Game Detective in a huge lead now. Yeah, well, she has to be at Gretham. Yeah, she has to be at 20 if she's going to do middle for skip here. Although I don't think there was any other checks on her board that was a quickie thing to do, other than maybe if she had a lock, doing locks pickup item check in the back of Snail Cave. As that is a Cyan character number 8 here for Dragon Lady K, 8 characters, 5 Espers for them. By the way, rough boss fight here for Dwayne, unfortunately. This is Tentacles, which unfortunately they might be the only ones to fight here. Dragon Lady K doing the Magitech check here. The first two are going to be Espers, so they will be at 8 characters, 7 Espers by the end of this. As Sawyer, new information here, Mount Zozo, World of Ruin. This is a science check here. This is a dragon impossible Esper at the end. Or character, or item.
I think you might just run right past the dragon and go see, as I was saying, he's just going to run right to the dragon and take it.
Yeah, oh, they already have skip, so I'm guessing this is just for more levels as, don't freeze everybody. Okay, we froze half the party.
Yeah, it's all good.
So our first entry into the tower, Dame Detective 10655 here. Oh, look at that, Yeti is not going to get left on the airship. Alright, so we are now dropping the tower at 10720, we'll call it. So that is going to be the time for Dwayne to try to catch up to, see what the difference is after, because Dwayne's going to have to exit the tower, reform the party, and jump back into the tower to actually get the run with the skip. Meanwhile, Sawyer already has skip. That is an Esper. That is going to be Kefka unlock for Sawyer here.
Very nice.
So this race got a lot tighter.
Yeah, he's got skip, so he'll probably be in the tower right at the same time Dwayne does. Oh no, that's a Doomgaze floating around up there.
Oh no! Okay, well, no. Edgar survived.
He survived.
But you're right.
Now.
That's a trap. That's a tarp.
All good. We just need to dodge the next 7 dooms. Doomgaze is sure to cast on Edgar alone.
Yeah. And that is an ammo weapon using Edgar's, so that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, that's arrow. That's going to knock out all the damage out of the ammo weapon now. Uh-oh. Okay, heal force. All right. By the way, Dwayne getting through their fight. That was skip now for Dwayne. Sawyer's still doing more stuff here, apparently.
That is 1 Doom dodged. Just a few more to go. Actually, more seriously, I think this Atmos might do it. Oh no, it does not. That's iconic. But Clutch blocked. Edgar's not playing around today.
Dwayne, by the way, diving into the tower here. I'll get the official difference here in just a second, but it is going to be kind of substantial here. It's going to be close to 2 minutes. By the way, Magimaster there for Lady K's side, I believe, did get the Berserk off as they are casting spells on them and they go down, so easy Magimaster for them. 109, call it 28, so they are 2 minutes and 8 seconds behind here. So that is a 2 minute, 8 second gap that Game Detective has on top of Dwayne here. Sawyer getting their 5th dragon. Oh, interesting. Piranhas. This is going to be a very, very annoying fight for Dwayne, unfortunately, having just an Atma weapon user and a couple of randos. Because the damage from that weapon is just going to take a while for the animation here. Game Detective does get through their second of 4 bosses here, because technically, Kefka's Tower is not just 3 statues, you also have the Guardian spot too. So Game Detective actually threw 2 of the first of these 4 bosses here. As Dwayne is on the first one. Sawyer diving into the tower, 110-25 for them. So they're going to be approximately 3 minutes behind Game Detective. Oh, Lady K is going to go through all of Magitech Magitech facility. So we're going to see what that reward was at the end. Once again, it is going to be guaranteed. Character or Esper here.
Alright, Game Detective is going to show us the last boss. We know the boss is probably going to be most important in the middle lane. That's a so this is interesting.
Toilet
it's
Atma.
not a given. Yeah, it's not a given.
No, because it can do some really funky things at this level of the game. 16 fire rods, by the way, on Game Detective's item inventory. So this could be pretty quick here.
That Drago and then break the fire rod.
Yeah. Like we said, the interesting thing about Toilet Atma is it can use basically any ability in the game, including Kefka's Fallen One and such, so it can be really dangerous.
There we go. Now we're morphing straight on. Now we're taking care of business.
Yeah, so this should do more like 5,000, 6,000 damage even. Way on their second boss, Sawyer on their first boss doing the piranhas. Game Detective yet to do piranhas.
Right, so
As Doom does claim, ooh.
Yeah, Dwyer finding out the bad news of this Doomgate situation. Gogo was not up to the challenge. Strago does not have the Force Shield equipped, so
Instant
he doesn't have the
Doom!
magic evasion to dodge things like that Game Detective did. That's unfortunate right there.
Yeah, so that is definitely going to add more time because Game Detective, like you said, did dodge those Doom attacks there on their Edgar. It does get through the third of their 4 bosses. They still have yet to do Fish, as Sawyer does get through their Fish fight. By the way, Dragon Lady K still grinding through the minecart here. Does get through the boss fight to the end here. Cool thing about this also, you do get a free heal, so her party will be healed before going into this final fight here. And it was an Esper.
There we go.
Yep, so definitely could have been a little faster going that route. We don't know. It could be.
We found where Hyden was hiding the entire time. Sawyer finding out his bad news, but unfortunately...
Yeah, they have 2 decent characters now, yeah.
3 is the magic number for him, not 5, so he is fine with the level 5 Doom, but... Sawyer's going to have to maybe slap a mental ring on or something to absorb the instant death, or block the instant death of the Go-Go, or just get the level off, or just try to take him back up, something different here.
Yeah, and luckily for Sawyer, actually running this fight with 2 characters, not 1 character, so a little bit better here, situationally.
Is that a hostile meter? Yeah, that's a hostile meter. Atma came to play today a little bit.
Yeah, but it's crack power there for Dwaya here. That is the Piranha. No, Piranha's still going for Game Detective. So it does take out Doomgaze here, so a little more progression here. Dragon Lady K still needs 1 more Esper here. I believe this is an Esper. At leader. Alright, so finally Razapaz shows their face on screen for Game Detective here, as Sawyer does go into the Ultros 4 fight here. Dwayne had taken a fight here, trying to get the levels up here on Go-Go, because they do need a second character here. That's not going to help, as Struggle goes zombie mode here. So no levels for Go-Go. So this might throw off the leveling scheme here now. Yeah, so unfortunately, if she gains another level on Strago, that's going to still put her at the ×5 here. So, Alright, so Game Detective is on the switches. Something I like to do in the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community is, wherever the first runner hits those switches, how long will it take them to beat Kefka? That is from the drop of the hat when they get out of the character screen to the final, to the first flash of Kefka. So put your times in the chat right now on how long, not the total time they've run, how long will it take them to get through the Kefka fight? Price is Right rules, by the way, do not go over. The first one closest to the time, slightly below the time, wins. And what do you win? The love and admiration of Muggles everywhere. That's what you win.
This is Doomgaze number 3, and yeah, we're on the right level, so good thing. But here we go again.
Roll Rod break. That's going to be amazing for this. That's going to do quad 9s. By the way, tier 1 here for Game Detective. It's a 3-headed monster here. We got the long arm closest to us, we have head, and we also have fist. That is the order of operations you want to kill them in. Long arm can be instantly killed with any kind of instant kill, along with stone. Then you want to kill head next, which is weak to fire, because if you leave head up last, it's going to cast Quake, and it's going to pretty much kill your entire party unless they have float. But last but not least is fist or left hand there. They will counterattack with humongous punching damage every time you hit it. It will hit you again as Dwayne unfortunately goes down again to Doomgaze here. Fist, actually, interesting enough, weak to water, of all things. And speaking of water, we do see Apple Weapon casting a water spell on screen there as Edgar tries to solo it down and does there for Sawyer's side. By the way, Lady K is in Kefka's tower there, taking on Razapaz. Razapaz goes down as well.
So I don't think Joya saved after she got Go-Go off to level 30.
Oh man, oh man. Well, one thing about the Ultras League is that only the best 6 weeks count on your position finish. So there's 8 weeks total. So the 2 lowest finishes that you had for points are droppable. So only the top 6 times that you had throughout the tournament, or throughout basically the season, count. So at this point, I would likely say if Dwayne keeps struggling here, probably will be her drop week. Because we do have 3 other runners in the group that have run or may not have run yet, and Sabalingo, Befoles, and TJ. So they're not just racing each other here of these 4 that you see on screen. There's actually 3 others, 7 total, in this group that they have to compete against. By the way, Sawyer just starting their climb as Game Detective goes on tier 2. Drink School, you want to talk about tier 2?
Yeah, there are 4 parts to tier 2. This is where Mutant is probably the most important part. One spot you want to have Mutant Final Fantasy VI because we can mute a guy on the far left whose name is aptly named Magic. All he does is throw a bunch of annoying magic attacks, use some things like Muddle, some things like tier 3 spells, and a few other things, but if we mute him, we'll have to worry about none of it. Plus, we want some instant death with tools in the middle part, and then we have Tiger Face on the bottom right, who looks like the big old kitty cat you see on your screen. He does a bunch of annoying things, and then last but not least, we have Hit, who, well, he does hit. So 4 parts. Little order of operation in which we want to deal with these 4 parts, but this is the most, improbable, unlikely, unpredictable tier of Final Kefka. Other things go sideways for a lot of different reasons on you if you're not careful with it.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that's unfortunate again.
And by the way, Quake on Dragon Lady's side, that's a heck of an attack there for Twilight Atma as well.
So this is like, you know, gotta be frustrating for Dwaya, but really it's just like nothing you can do. It's just out of your control. Sometimes you walk into a statue spot that's Doom Gauge and you're level 39 and everything goes smooth and you never realize it. Sometimes you walk up to them and you just happen to be level 35 or level 40 or whatever, and it just feels like the worst thing in the world, but really nothing you can do about it. It was just the number that happened to be associated with you when you walked up here. Good on
As a portion, oh, Sawyer with a reset on Final Kefka. So that's going to extend Game Detective's lead even further now. Now, it's not over. Anything can happen in the Kefka climb there, although struggle with 6,000 HP is kind of ridiculous, I'm not going to lie. He was definitely pumping up something. Protein bars or something. But looks like they only have hits left here alive. That is Ice 3 to try to take it down. And ooh, those are good hits in the Egger here. Into Terra. Egger getting down low. Oh, Egger goes down!
Oh no.
Oh, that is their rag user. Oh, no, it's not over. Okay. Oh, Magic's still up. Okay. Wow, usually you leave hits up last, but apparently, yeah, knowing maybe they knew that they were going to take a lot of heavy damage there, elected to leave Magic up for last there. Dragon Lady K taking on the Guardian spot again, which once again is Doomgaze here. I think this is their first attempt at Doomgaze. Meanwhile, Sawyer starting over again on the climb here. As Game Detective still trying to finish off Tier 2. Okay, so Sawyer apparently lost their Terra on Tier 1 on a counterattack, it looks like. So that's why they reset out. By the way, do have the perfect spells and stuff for the Kefka climb. We got our Fire 3, we got our Golem, Fenrir, X-Zone. So we do have Siren Esper, so we do have all the tools needed for this Kefka climb. And we are now going to Tier 3 here on Game Detective. Now, Tier 3 is a two-headed boss here. We have the floating feminine head there called Girl. They have 9,999 HP, and their job, heal the boss in front of them, which is called Sleep. Girl, by the way, does absorb all kinds of elements, so non-elementals like this meteor are punching it in the face with a weapon or Ragnarok. Stuff like that's the only way you can really get through Girl. Flare is another one. Now, Sleep, on the other hand, the more damage due to them, the more aggravated they get. So they will get to a point where they will cast Meteo on your entire party, and when you do actually kill them, they will actually they will do a counter kill of Calmness, which is an insta-kill physical move. This is why we need Golem and Fenrir, which will actually defend us from that ability. So pretty much your order of operations is get rid of the Girl, so it stops the healing, and also Rezzing, because it will cast Life 2 on Sleep, if Sleep does die before the Girl does. And then get rid of Sleep and try to spike him at the end to make sure he does not counter you with the Meteo. That is now... The way it looks like they finally got through Doomgaze there. Dragon Lady K also getting through Doomgaze there. Actually, they took the lead over Dwaya now. So now Dragon Lady K going into the Kefka climb.
Yeah, Dragon Lady on the switches before Dwaya by just a hair. It's interesting.
Oh no, Dwaya still has... Oh no, they did that last one. Okay, so... Could this be... Now, Dragon Lady K has not beaten Dwaya, who they were mentor-mentee for a Boogle Cup, so that's like kind of a side story here. But meanwhile, we have Sawyer using the Odin to try to get rid of tools. Oh, does actually not get rid of tools on the Odin ability there. Meteo does come down on Game Detective. We have some low health bars. And since we were invisible, that's going to auto-hit Strago and Mog. So 2 characters down right now. And here's the problem. Because Sleep is still at low health, he's going to cast Meteor, but we don't care, apparently. We're just going to go for it. Calmness comes out. Does get rid of Terra.
Oh,
And
no.
we just lost 3/4 of the party for Game Detective. Oh my goodness, we are just... We're just YOLOing here, literally. Edgar does have Atma Weapon offering, however, only doing about 2,500 per hit. So it's doing 1,000, like 10,000 damage, but I mean, Atma Weapons can usually do like over 20,000 Grange Glow.
Yeah. His Edgar is blinded going up to this tier, but it doesn't matter based on what he has. But so bump back to about 2-4s. You can get through 2-4 with a comically low amount of stuff in your party. The problem is it's really hard to get the tier 4 with that comical amount of low requirements, whatever it may or may not be. But we might see it in action here. We might see it pulled off.
Okay, so we're actually doing 3,000 a swing here, not 2,000, so a little bit better here. We do also have the fire rods, I guess, because Game Detective does have like a whole stack of fire rods. I guess that was the other reason why we're going to say, you know what, I don't care, we're just going to go. Oh, but I don't think they have... Okay, they do have more elixirs, because we need to keep Edgar's health up to maximum, because Atma Weapon does more damage the higher your total health is. Another couple more swings from Edgar. There is a danger here where sometimes Kefka will counter with a hyper wing or something that can instantly kill probably Edgar here. So if Edgar goes down, that is the one thing you have to worry about. And I think we used the rest of the elixirs, so that was kind of a gutsy call here to finish off using the elixirs.
It's all good. No risk it, no biscuit. Edgar is the important character here. We just keep trucking along. This should be a Goner charge coming up, and there it goes.
All right, so Goner's up here now. This is when we dump all our damage into Kefka now. So we want you to just try to dump as much damage as possible into Kefka. I don't think potions are going to help. Especially with characters that have no armor or much of anything on them. We just want to just grab our shields, break them, break the rods, break whatever we can on Kefka here. As Goner does come out, Shadow and Cyan will likely go down here. Locke might survive.
Yeah. So if Locke survives, that's huge because Locke can restore Edgar's
No,
health.
Locke doesn't survive!
That's fine. Look at Edgar's health. Look at Edgar's health. He's fine. He just
He's good. He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay, heal force.
If he can get
Kind
2
of
more
risky
swings
here.
off,
Kefka. This is the point where Kefka can do double hyper wing. Trine comes out. Doesn't really do much to our Edgar, luckily, because blind doesn't really do anything when you have an offering in your hand. 4 more swings come out. Hopefully hyper wing. We're kind of risking it here. Crack pow! Game Detective is your week 4 winner of Ponic F. Their first win in Ultras League, by the way. GG's to them.
very nicely done by Game Detective back against the wall, and that is when dogs shine, and that's when my dogs shine the brightest.
So 129.17 there for Game Detective. And we'll try to pull him in the booth to talk about the run here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, we still have all this Kefka fights going on all over the screen. Sawyer's on tier 3. Dwaya and Dragon Lady K are on tier 2. As Calmness does come out for Sawyer, Terra goes down. Double Calmness! Edgar goes down too! Once again, tier 3, baring his teeth, taking out pretty much half the party there for Game Detective and Sawyer. So once again, this race is still not over, folks, because again, this is a week-to-week-to-week run, so we are still competing here. So it is technically not over yet for Dwaya or Dragon Lady K. During school, I know you have administrative. Are you able to tell us the times of any other people that have finished so far in tonic stuff?
I don't think anybody else has finished when I was getting the invite set up earlier. So he is by default in first by being the only one to finish.
All right.
But also what we see was teammates doing.
All right, so since nobody has finished the run so far among their 7-player group, that means that the times and placements that you see here on screen is going to be the current times for the group. Now, once again, there are 3 more runners that have yet to run, so this is not going to be the official placements and times. But they are, this is going to be current to today, which is Wednesday, in our FF6 Worlds Collide Wednesday runs here on Speed Gaming 4. And by the way, we are joined in the booth by Game Detective GG, first place, first win Ultras League. How does it feel? Okay, we need to get work on Game Detective's mic here, no problem. As Sawyer is continuing to fight Kefka here, casting Pearl of Cyan. That's always fun because Cyan has horrible magic power. Now, I figured it out. His mic. Yep, we got your mic now. GG, buddy.
Yeah, did I win?
So far, yeah.
Oh, well,
you're the only one to finish.
So. Yeah, well, okay, look, I've been planning my 4th place speech all day. And
why don't you give the 4th place speech? I want to hear this 4th place speech now. Let's hear it.
Yeah, well, practice it. We want to hear it still.
I mean, maybe at the end. I was literally. So here's the thing, though, is, I mean, look at the people I'm racing against. I just came in and did my best, but I kind of figured that I'd be the last one in this room because they're all very good racers.
Well, you clearly did the best that no one ever was, because we want to point out immediately, YOLO much there, pal, at the end of that?
So I have a saying that there is no room in heaven for cowards.
All right, by the way, crack crow for Sawyer. Oh no, they reset their clock. We'll call that around 1:33:04 for them. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, no, it was, so, yeah, at the end, when I saw what was happening, I knew that there was no way I was going to win if I reset. Because if I had a lead, it was probably very narrow. And I felt that way because I had the skip before I had the unlock. And so I was like, nope, if I've got any kind of lead, it's really narrow and I need to just go for it. And so I was sitting there just anxious as heck in that last fight.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you were the first one with Kefka unlock, and I believe you were the second one with Skip. You were also the first one to the tower, and you were luckier than all of our other runners because you did not wipe to Doomgaze. Everybody had a problem with Doomgaze. So that pretty much sealed the deal for you. You had a 2-minute lead over Dwaya entering the tower. You went to the tower at 107.20. They went to the tower 109.28. They were actually the second ones in the tower. But the fact that you did not go down to Doomgaze at all pretty much sealed the deal for you on that run.
Yeah, that was also nerve-wracking when he killed Cyan, and I was like, and then he cast Doom on my Edgar, who threw up a shield, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Plus, this is my first Ultras League first place, so
yeah, your first win.
Yeah, I think outside of Moogle Sonata, this is my first race win. And so yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, statistically and past results experience, I mean, this was an upset for you.
Well, yeah, so I'm usually cutting it pretty close, and I've been pretty safely hovering around 3rd in all of my races. I got, I think, 3rd, 4th, and 3rd in the last 3 races, and that's allowed me to sort of stay within striking distance of staying in the game. But yeah, this is my first win, and it's, again, I felt like I was kind of the underdog because we've got more experienced runners. Dwayne was a mentor. DLK was the winner of the Moogle Cup. Sawyer is just very good. I've seen a couple of the times he's turned in, and yeah, very, very good opponents. So I'm very proud of myself for how that went. I was going to be happy if I just got a sub 90. So.
Oh, you were the only one with sub 90, so there you go.
Woohoo!
By the way, we are joined in Ruth with Sawyer and Dragon Lady K. Dragon K just finishing up there at 135.19. GG's to you both as well.
Thank you. GG's, guys.
So just a couple quick questions there for Sawyer. Where on Earth are all the Espers?
Not in my inventory, that's for sure.
No, they weren't at all. But I will say the saving grace for you, and actually I'm going to loop in Game Detective on this, is heck of a dream. Triple Esper dream there, thanks to Cyan.
That's the only thing that saved me, honestly.
Well, there wasn't much left for the dream to be by the time I got around to it. I was like, I can only have so many Genji gloves.
Also, Sawyer getting skipped before getting even 6 Espers. So that was a rough pathing for you.
Is it character skip or check skip?
Oh, it's check skip.
Check skip.
But I do want to ask you, Sawyer, do you have something against dragons in this run, or?
Considering I killed all 5 of them except for the ones in the tower. Yeah, no, dragons are fine. Dragons are fine.
Okay, all right. Because I was just wondering because you had skip, but you killed 2 or 3 dragons post that.
Well, that was more for levels because I was afraid. I was trying to push the levels past calmness, so try to play around with that and make things a little faster. Plus, my offense was decent enough at that point just to be like, "Hey, there's a dragon, whap whap, done," and I'm moving on. And the other more pertinent information was I was kind of searching for a VK for a while for Locke, because once I saw Locke, I was like, well, I'm getting him, so. But oh well.
Not bad. And also, final crack pile craft for Dwayne there. Approximately 138. I'm going to call about 15 there for you. GG for finishing up there.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to jump to Lady K real quick, but Lady K and Dwayne, you can tell who the mentor and Moogles are when they run a seed, and whatever the mentor was doing, the Moogle was also doing 20 seconds behind. Almost the entire run.
Wow.
Wherever Dwayne
doesn't surprise me.
Dragon Lady K went too.
GG's all. GG's.
Absolutely, GG's.
So, Lady K, last one into the tower there. Now you went to the route of going all of Magitech facility. So what was your thinking there when you had other checks available?
Mostly because I knew I only needed one more Esper, and if it was an Esper, that would be great. Plus, it gave me the full unlock on Magitech since I had Edgar in my party, and I was using all of my melee offense with Terra and Locke. But if I found another offering, I might have cried. Because I took those 2 in the Coliseum and then got one later, and I was like, really? Really? All that work?
So I heard a question.
Oh God. I don't remember. I was trying so hard to run. I think she was in Mobless.
Yes, Celeste was Mobless, yes.
I mean, it worked out. It was a 3 Esper Magitech, so I can't be sad.
Yeah, triple Esper Magitech, triple Esper Dream.
Where was Cyan?
Cyan was tunnel armor check.
Yeah, tunnel armor lock check in South Figaro Cave.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself for not doing Fanatics Tower early.
Yeah, right on. And I hate to point out too, Dwayne, that was this is going to be a drop week for you. Obviously, you have 2 wins under your belt so far in this running. You're able to drop 2 runs for you, but Doomgaze, my goodness, did he had your number? I think it was 5-6 resets on
Yep.
Doomgaze.
I think it's about 5. Mhm.
Yikes.
Yeah, and you were in second place. It was pretty much neck and neck with you and Game Detective. I think you got unlocked before Game Detective did, but because Game Detective had more extra checks, they got skipped before you did. So they had a 2-minute lead going in, and the difference was Game Detective's Edgar able to dodge all the dooms on his first try when you had to do it
Nice.
5 times. So that was the difference there in you two. So.
Nice. GG. I mean, great job, game. Yeah, that Doomgaze, I kind of knew I had lost after the second reset. I was like, well, this is probably not going to go well. So, that's okay though. It happens.
Right on, right on. But before we wrap it up here, once again, this is Ultras League Season A. This is Tonic F. Now, the other 3 runners have yet to run. So currently, our placement right now is Game Detective first for week 4. Then it's Sawyer, Dragon Lady K, and then Dwayne in 4th. Probably hold up that way, although I guess the only other runner that hasn't run yet is Sabalingo, who is 4th overall in the group right now. So that's current standings for you all out there for week 4. Is there anything you guys want to wrap it up before we wrap it up here?
No, just thanks for doing the restream and calming, and Gretham for tracking, and Glue, and I hope that it was a good show.
Well, speaking of calming, Game Detective, 3 character wipe there on tier 3. Went to kind of Kefka with only 1 character Edgar. And also Sawyer double calmness on tier 3, so only going to final Kefka with 2 characters. So calming has a double meaning here tonight. So
Wow.
Yeah, calmness was. I also failed the math test, so. But GG's to everyone. Thank you guys for racing with me today. Thank you for the restream. This was a pleasure. It's my first time doing this, so I'm real excited for it.
yes, GG's to you, the Game Detective. First on-stream win overall in your career, so congrats.
First race win in my career, I think.
Well, you had
Way
the
to
Sonata.
go.
You had the Sonata,
Awesome.
technically.
I had the Sonata.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so second race win in my career. First one on stream.
Yeah, there you go. Sawyer, anything from you, pal?
There needs to be more Mughals, and I am very upset that the Mughal Nation army did not rise up, and I am sad.
Well, there was Moogle armor. I see Moogle armored Celeste there on Dwaya's screen, so...
I mean, I also got a Mog in mine.
Oh, that's
So-
right. That's right.
I don't even remember
Now
where he
I'm-
was at. I just remember finding him and going,
I
"Oh,
don't
look,
remember either.
okay." It was
Even-
after I'd actually gotten Terra and done Welk, so I was just like, "Not going back there."
Even more Madge. Even more Madge. GG's though.
Yeah, this was one of those runs where it was guaranteed you had to get 7 characters in order to progress the rest of the seats. So that was definitely... Oh, no, well, I stand corrected. Sorry, I had 6 characters, 9 Espers. But then again, you did go extra dragons, so I don't know. Either way. So...
I think
yeah.
Mog was in Phoenix Cave. For
Oh,
wondering.
Phoenix Cave, there he is, yep.
Yeah, that might have been it. I felt like I did all of the long checks. It was bad.
Well, when you start with the start that we had, like, it's all long checks. There's the castle, there's Sin Thief, and then it's all long checks.
Yeah, Edgar's double checks take several minutes. Strago's Burning House can take several minutes, plus Heighten is not exactly short either. Towers takes a while because you gotta walk all the way up and all the way back down, even though it's guaranteed. Yeah, all these checks were extremely long checks, you're right. But alrighty, we're going to wrap it up there. Once again, this is Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, the randomizer for Final Fantasy VI. Wednesday. I don't know what day of the week it is. Wednesdays here on Speed Gaming. Be sure to check out the schedule on which version of the Speed Gaming channels we are on. Please check us out every 8 p.m. every week, again, on Wednesdays. On behalf of our FF6 Worlds Collide community, I am Saberwolf. Thanks again for Drink School and Restream. Gretham on the tracking. Of course, we couldn't do this without the runners, Sawyer, Dwea, Game Detective, and Dragon Lady K. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Enjoy.